Hi, this is Dot Scrapbooking. I am going to show you, so I finished all the cutting for the Bloom with Grace cards, and I have sorted all of the cuts so that each project is in its own pile, and each card has all the pieces that go with it. So this kind of makes the card making kind of more factory-like. You kind of get in a groove doing the same thing over and over again. And so that's how I'm doing this. And I'm going to go ahead and make all 16 cards. So I will probably do the first one in normal time, and then the rest of them you can watch in a faster time, a speeded up version. So you can kind of see, kind of get in your head how these go together. And so this is all my piles. And that happens to be card number 1. Yeah, that's card number 1. So the only thing that I don't have with each card are the white cards and envelopes. So I will pick those from the right-hand side as I go along. So here we go. Here's project number 1, card number 1. And I am going to use the intense black, as you see over to the left, to do all the stamping of the sentiments. And I've got all my pieces gathered up. And so I'm going to, the first thing I'll do is stamp the sentiment, which is way to get life by the horns, something like that. So the card it's got the score in it already. And so you want to fold, believe it or not, you want the concave, the inner thing on the outside, and the convex, the part that sticks out, goes on the inside. And so you get a really good fold that way. So you want the bump on the inside and the ridge, not ridge, but the kind of valley on the outside. So there we go. That's how that's handled. Now these cards are, the cards and envelopes are what we sell in our value pack. So you get 50 cards and envelopes, A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You get 50 for, I think, $15.95. So super cheap to make cards, but these came in the kit. So the first thing I'm doing is putting the, beautiful yellow flower background. And then comes the toffee background, which is going to be for the opposite side of the yellow flowers, which is the green. And so I'm going to go ahead and stick that in place. And it just leaves a little bit of an edge, maybe 1/8 of an inch around. So you want to try to get it as even as you can. I fight with that a little bit. And yeah, I get kind of wired about trying to make sure that they're, as close to even as I can get them. So, and then I will go ahead and put the sentiment background down in the middle of the card. And so you've got the nice yellow edge with the green and the toffee. So it's a nice background. So now this is the, excuse me, sentiment, and it's a little bit too big for my 2x2, even if I put it diagonally. And so what I'm going to use is like a 2.5 by 3. I don't want to use the really big one because then you get ink on your block. But this particular block, most of our blocks are fairly thick. And this particular block comes with the what's it called? The subscription, card subscription. Way to catch life by the horns. So, inspirational, giving a little attaboy to somebody. You really want to put the little sponge background on the back so that I didn't get a great impression. It's because I didn't put the sponge thing on underneath the card. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. And I do it again. I end up cutting a new piece, just so you know, because I pressed it hard and then I thought, okay, I really need to put it over there, and it moved a little bit. And so, yeah, had to go cut another piece. What can you say? Oh, well, we'll just go on and do this one. So this is a really nice size for sentiments. And like I said, you get that it's part of the subscription card kit. So I love these little blocks. I just really like them. So what we're going to do with this is make a banner cut on both sides. So I eyeball the center and go up anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch, depending on what I feel like. And then I go from the corner to the center. So it's pretty simple to get a good looking banner cut. Like I said, halfway in the middle and then corner to the center. There we go. So that's going to be my sentiment that's going to go up top. And I'm not going to pop it up because I'm going to pop up the cow skull. I can't believe I'm using a cow skull for a card, but it's cute because it's got flowers on it, so that kind of makes it all better. So I am using 3 of the tri-blend markers. It says it on the instructions, so it's like a gray-brown, and then kind of a yellow-green, and a golden yellow. So you know what kind of colors. Now, if you don't have the tri-blend markers, and you've got, like we used to sell Spectrum Noir, but we don't anymore. We've got the tri-blends. And which is, it's nice having the tri-blends because you've got the same color on the whole marker, but you have 3 different shades. So you can do some really nice shading with these tri-blend markers. So normally what I would do would be to outline in one of the darker shades. I would outline it and then fill it in with the lighter color. What I end up doing is, because I wanted the skulls to be just a really light color, so I just went ahead and colored all of them in the lightest shade of this marker. So you could, if you didn't have a gray-brown, you could use a tan. That would be fine for kind of a bleached out bone color. But what I really like is to add the colors of the flowers, the yellows and golds, kind of orangey gold. And it really helps to make the whole thing a lot more festive, and somehow it makes it better. I don't know how, but like I said, I had a hard time wanting to use a skull to send to people's cards, but it ends up being pretty cool. And, you know, since I'm from Texas, it's kind of a, you know, pretty kind of a Texan thing to do. And for any of you that live in the Midwest, in the more rural areas, y'all get this. So she starts getting pretty with having flowers around her. I like the two sentiments on this stamp set. So it's way to grab life by the horns, and also let dreams take blossom. So they're both uplifting, encouraging type sentiments for the cards, along with some, you know, festive little, cheery little yellow flowers, little kind of sunflowers. They don't get, life just doesn't get much cheerier than a sunflower to me. I love them. But anyway, that's what these cards are. They're, to me, they're inspirational attaboys for people who need, you know, maybe a little encouragement, little positive energy sent their way. So I'm just kind of going over using the light and the darker colors on the gold yellow tri-blend marker. And then I use some foam dots to pop it up. And so when you see the sentiment, then the skull makes sense. The skull with the big horns, they're almost like longhorn, but longhorn horns are a zillion times more than that. So these are, it kind of makes sense to have these this skull with the horns, with this sentiment, you know, way to grab life by the horns. So it's good. I couldn't find my bigger foam dot, so I'm using a bazillion small dots, which is kind of a pain. But the rest of these cards I'll speed up. So I always keep a little dish nearby. I have trash cans below me and to the side of me, a small desktop foldable trash can. But the little dish is easy to grab and put the little tiny pieces in rather than reaching across the table to put things in the trash can, the little trash bin. So I like having the little dish. Then when it fills up, I can just dump it into the little trash bin and I'm good to go again. So there's my horns. Isn't she cute? And then they have, the card kit also came with the really pretty gold glitter gems. And I was thinking that I had some over there, but I don't. I think I use them pretty liberally. But you end up with, you end up with a few left over. So, you know, you can be fairly liberal with using your gems. And I'm just using, I couldn't find my little poker thing, so I'm just going to use the scissor to move the gems off of the carrier sheet. I think the little poker tool is a little bit easier. So what you can do is kind of place the gem over where you want it, and then try to show you, then you can slide the carrier sheet out from under it. So you can kind of see what it looks like when you place it that way. And then you can write a note, or if you want to put another sentiment on the inside, you could certainly do that. But on all of my cards and envelopes, I always use, usually I use one of the elements of the stamp set that I'm working with. But I decided to use this heart that I had. It's a little M stamp heart. And I put it on the back of the card as my little hallmark thing. And then I also put it on the front of the card, front of the envelope. So there's kind of a little thing that gets carried from the envelope to the card. So the little heart, the little phrase on the inside of the heart says, from the heart. And it's just a little tiny M stamp that I got a long time ago. And it's perfect for, the back of the cards and also for the envelopes. So now I'm speeding it up. And so I will just add a little music here and then come back on the next card. Okay, so there we have it for card number 1. And I'm just going to move everything out of the way and show you all 4 of the cards all together. So I've got my From the Heart on all my envelopes and on the back of my cards. And way to grab life by the horns. So there we go. Okay, on to card number 2. So let your dreams blossom. And we've got some little bouquets of flowers that go on this one. So this is a card made with strips. Now, if you are making your own cards and you're making A2s or whatever size you're making, using strips to make cards is just a really effective way of making a pretty card, and really simple, because you just want to get some design paper that you like and cut it to size, and then have some contrasting papers and cardstock that go with it, or even ribbon, or I like to use shimmer trim. That's really beautiful. And you're just going to fit it to either the vertical or horizontal dimension. So, I mean, it doesn't get much more simple than that. And this is a great way of using your scraps for cards. It's a great way to get rid of scraps. So, and then, you know, I've said 1,000 times, maybe not 1,000, maybe however many videos I make about cards, it is always nice to have cards available for something that comes up. Because all you have to do is go in your box. Hopefully you have them sort of sorted. And you can find a birthday card or a thank you card, or Ginger talks to me so much. I don't know if you can hear her, but my goodness, her vocalization is just like my Aunt Liddy. She never stopped talking. Okay, so this is going to be, see how thick the normal blocks are. That just shows you the difference between this block that comes with the subscription. But I still like it. I mean, it is easy to grab the blocks, the thicker blocks, with your fingertips. But this size is just so good, especially for sentiments for cards. So let your dreams blossom. So I'm just going to kind of arrange the words. So dreams is on its own little strip, and let your is on its own little strip, and then blossom is bigger in a big font. I mean, a big script. So I'm just trying to put it in a kind of nice little... One easy thing that you could do is lay these words so you can read them, or backwards actually, on your mat. And then when you have them arranged the way you want them, then you pick it up with your block and they stick to the block automatically. So here we go. And I think I went too much over to the center. So you want to get these really over to the edge, so you've got plenty of room for your flowers. Let your dreams blossom. So nice little sentiment. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it down. Once again, I'm not measuring anything. I'm eyeballing everything here. So now these are super simple to color, and I'm just going to use the green and the yellow gold markers for these, and just a little tiny, little itsy bitsy flowers, just enough to give them a little bit of a color on the teensy little blooms. So, and then a couple of green leaves. Mostly the leaves are filled in black, but there's a few there that are green. Now, yeah, there we go. It's always kind of good to use the one color that you're using before you go on to the next. You know, it just kind of makes things more efficient. And I'm just putting little bits of green here and there. And it's, like I said, you're just getting an itty-bitty amount of color on there. So they're cute little blossoms. Now, what you could do, since these are little bouquets, you could just kind of cut the one knot off and kind of tuck the other group of flowers in behind the one, so it doesn't look like you've got two bouquets. It's just one with a real full bouquet of flowers. But your choice. I didn't think about that until after the fact. So, and that one itty bitty one could just be laid flat. It doesn't have to be with a, even though I put a foam dot on it, it doesn't have to be dimensional. It could lay flat and then let the other two bouquets be dimensional. So, you know, it's kind of what you want to do. Tombow is faster. See, I'm a little crowded there. So what I'm learning is I need to scoot my sentiment over to the very edge so that I've got plenty of room for my flowers. But if I cut off that bottom of the bouquet, then it would fit on there better. So you could tuck the bottom of those flowers in behind the other flowers. So I'm just trying to figure out how to put all those stems. And then I'm going to put my From the Heart stamp and then add some gems to the front of the card. See, usually that's the other thing. I really do use pieces from the stamp that I'm using to go on the envelope and on the back of the card. But I just decided to use this From the Heart. You know, I've had it on my desk. I use it a lot, and I decided to go ahead and use it. So. Okay, so there's the card one is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and speed things up. So I'll catch you on the other side. Okay, so here's the end of card number 2, project 2, and let your dreams blossom. Now we're on to card number 3, and this is another let your dreams blossom, and it's another card using strips of paper. So I really like this idea just because it's just so simple and so effective looking. I mean, it just really looks nice. And so I had a little problem with, I think I forgot how to do the double, it's doing a banner cut on two pieces. And so I screwed up here. Don't do what I'm doing. So I'm putting that on there, and then I went ahead and kind of set up the words for Let Your Dreams Blossom, because this is going to be a vertical orientation more. And so I'm just arranging the words differently. And I'm going to have to cut a banner just on one side on the bottom. And so I'm kind of experimenting. And I had them too far apart. Yeah, that's too far apart, just so you know. There's Ginger. Oh, Ginger Bean, what is the matter with you? Huh? I think she has trouble hearing because she's like 11. She's either 11, maybe she's 12. I think she might be 12. She's a scroungy dog from the ASPCA. So, but we've had her for a long, long time. She was probably just 2 when we got her. She was a rescue. So, but she's a mess. She is a big mess. Okay, so that's how not to do it. And my second card, I'll show you how to do it. And I really like this arrow. The arrow is real cute, and it's got a big sunflower in the middle of it. So I love that. And then we're using one of the bigger bouquets and one of the smaller little flower stems. So what I didn't do was to leave space for the zip strip. The zip strips, that dark brown piece, is a 1/2 inch wide, and that is going to go along the top there. And I think what I'm going to have to do is just cut a whole new piece. So you get to watch me color. But here we got it. Put some leaves on there, add a little green to it. And yeah, I kind of look like I'm moving in slow motion. My goodness. Not exactly sure why I didn't do the little bouquet. So I would suggest when you're, like I said, when you're coloring, just go ahead and color all the things that are the same color. And that speeds things up. So, see, that's in the wrong place. And I'm just going to go ahead and I think I'm cutting a whole other piece. I'm going to take that one off, rearrange the words, and scooch them more together. And start all over again. Ah! Mama! Okay. Erase that slate. So now we're going to move the I'm just trying to figure out, so we're going to scooch things down. I'm going to move the letters, the words closer together to allow a little bit more room at the top. Meantime, I'm getting inky fingers. Okay, so the letters are a little bit closer together. I'm going to put them more towards the bottom. Then put my zip strip. And the zip strip is going to go right on the top of the paper there, just along the very top. And I'm going to pop up my, it doesn't really need to be, but I'm popping up the little arrow with the flower on it. And it really dresses the top up. Just wait. Look at that. What a difference. Just a little element. And look at the difference it made on that. Cool, right? So I'm going to go ahead and color. Now, the thing that I need to do when you're going to have a double banner and you want a little edge to show all around, what you need to do is put the two pieces together all the way at the bottom and cut the edge, cut the banner. I think I'm avoiding it. And then you can, so I've decided to use the strip foam because it's so much faster than using the little dots. And I am going to go ahead and just flat put the Tombow on the small. See, I shouldn't do that. I haven't figured it out yet. So they want a little edge of the toffee to show all the way around the French vanilla. And so what I'm doing is I'm cutting the center, and then I'm going from the corner over to the center. Now you could just go with it like that and just have the edge showing on the three sides and the banner is one piece. You could do that, but that's not what the instructions say. So now what I'm going to do is just cut a little off the French vanilla. And I'm sorry I'm off the screen here. So that there's a little bit of an edge showing at the bottom. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like, but that was painful. So there's a much easier way of doing it. And that one is going to hang a little out, and then this one is just going to get flattened down with Tombow. There we go. That's going to be its center. So I'm going to put the strips on the card. And these are 1 inch by probably 4 inches because there's a little edge on either side, and it kind of comes up from the bottom a little bit. And so we're going to alternate and flip the signature paper over. This is the Bloom with Grace paper. So we're going to show the back side, the front side, and the back side. And tad too long. And then the center piece is actually like 1 1/4 inches wide. For whatever reason, they just decided to make the center strip a little bit wider, and then it drops down to the 1 inch again. So you want to make sure that you're putting the Tombow on the right side, on the correct side. And I'm overlapping it just a bit so I get a little bit of the French vanilla showing at the top. There we go. So, and then my sentiment goes on the front there. And you could kind of put it wherever you want. They suggest it go all the way to the top of the paper. Not the card, but the paper. But if you want it lower, that would totally look okay too. It would look totally okay to have a little bit of the yellow flower showing at the top. So there we go. And this gets some of the gems. And they're putting gems on the center. There's 2 little flowers there. And so they're going on the center of the flowers is where the gems are going. So, ta-da! And then we do the back and the envelope. So I would save time if I didn't do the stamping on the envelope and on the back of the card. This is not something that you have to do at all. You don't have to do it on the envelope, and you sure don't have to do it on the back of the card. But I just want people to know that it's a homemade card, and I mean, they could probably tell that it's not Hallmark. But anyway, it's a little signature. So if you want to make a signature for your cards, then you know, you can devise your own signature. So here's the strips again, and hopefully I can show you quickly the right way of doing the banner cut. So I guess we're going to put the strips down first, with maybe 1/8 of an inch showing. And then my 1 1/4 inch piece. And, oops, everything's getting in the way here. See how simple that is? Any of your papers could be used for this. And you could use, you know, Christmas paper with a Christmas sentiment. I mean, you could just go wild. This is definitely an easy thing to, you know, put together for yourself. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going down, I'm putting both pieces at the bottom. Coming up probably at least to 1/2 inch. And then I'm coming at the corner and cutting both sides at the same time. Okay, so now what you have is, come on, go ahead and put them together. And you will see this is the right way of doing the banner cut. So now you have identical cuts for the toffee and for the French vanilla. So there you go. I wanted you to see that before I speed everything up. Okay, here we go. Speeding up.
Vamos a la playa. 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 Vamos a la playa.
Okay, I'm finishing up the last. Okay, I'm finished. I'm just finishing up the last of the card number 16. So, woohoo. And then I will put them all together, and then I'll put one of each together for you at the end. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe and, give me a thumbs up if you like it. And, I'd love to hear any comments you have to say. So I hope you like these cards. I always start with, gee, I just don't know about this, and then I end up really, really liking it. So I like my flowered skulls. So there's my 4, card number 4, 4 of 4. So I think she's a pretty little skull, and I like her flowers, and I especially love the gems on the flowers, and these can be used for many different instances. So there we go. And next I'm going to put, darn it. Sorry about that. My phone got in there. So I'm going to get one each of all the other cards. And we've got 2 horizontals and 2 verticals. And I'm working on my craft mat there, which is real super, super easy to clean up. And great for doing mixed media. And all the excess Tombow comes off of it, real soup. You can just wipe it off, so it's real super simple. So there we go. There's my markers. There's the 4 cards from Bloom with Grace. So hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Bye now.